Good afternoon to you all, our viewers. Thank you for always keeping it on Civic Space TV. This is Women Rise, Women at the Front Lines. My name is Nayiga Madreen, your host. And join me, welcome Miss Catherine Abuko. Thank you, Catherine, for coming through.
My pleasure.
Yeah, we are really delighted to have you in our studios. Thank you for sparing time for this particular show. Yeah, this is Women Rise, Women at the Front Lines. We get to host exciting guests with exciting stories, and each week is exciting because we bring you new guests and new stories. So I believe you're learning a lot from these stories, and we are mentoring basically the young woman in society. Yes, we want you to take up these spaces in leadership. You can be a leader in any field, in any sector, yes, as long as you're a woman, and we want to uplift you and inspire you. And this month, on 11th of October, was the International Day of the Girl Child. And the guest I have with me in studio is a strong advocate for the girl child and the young women, empowerment. She has done a lot of projects empowering young women. So she will take us through that journey also. So Ms. Catherine Abuko is a language teacher by profession. She has worked with the Rwanda, the government of Rwanda, in developing the curriculum for, and she has written pedagogical books for the primary school teachers in Rwanda. So that is also an exciting journey with her. But most importantly, she's a strong advocate for the girl child and the young women. Yes, so welcome again, Ms. Catherine.
Yes. Thank you, Madreen. Thank
Yes.
you for hosting me, and thank you, our viewers. Thank you for watching Civic TV. And we'll be taking you through the journey shortly.
Yeah, of course. And to our viewers would like to know who is Catherine. It is always exciting knowing the background of the guests that we bring, because we all have simple, small backgrounds. We've grown up to becoming what we are today. We don't just, just be what we are today. So we need to know who was Catherine growing up, what, the childhood journey. You can take us through that.
Yes, thank you, Madreen. So my name is Catherine Abuko, as Madreen has introduced, and I am an advocate, a strong advocate for girl child education, and also very passionate with the rights of girls, and also with generally teaching, teaching methods. And growing as a child, I was raised in a very tough family. Yes.
Why do you emphasize it? Very tough.
A very tough family, religiously and also academically. So my parents are passionate. I'm glad they're still alive, and hopefully they'll be watching this.
Yeah.
And then education was key, and specifically for the girl.
For the girl.
Yes, and I remember my dad telling me that if God ever asked him to be a woman, he would say, "God, take me.
Wow.
Let me die. I cannot handle being a woman."
I thought he would happily agree.
Yes, his point was a woman should be empowered. The life of a woman is very tough, and surely I've grown to witness that as a woman. And also a teacher, being a teacher and having to take the girls through education. I have seen a lot. I've seen a lot, and that's why I fight so hard to see that at least the girl child acquires, even if it's not the overall education, let it be at least a basic. Yes, for her to survive. Now, my getting into education was inspired by my mother.
Okay.
Yes, and then also I loved English specifically because there's this woman, this news anchor. She was called, she's called Boko Mohe, I think from Capital FM. Used to read whatever you are, shout out to you. Yes, you inspired me from a distance to study English. I would secretly go to a private room, yes, and then try to imitate how she reads the news. Yes, I loved how she inspired me, and then I'm like, okay, well, have to do English. I must study English. How can she speak like that? Yes, so yes, that is it. And also, as a child, with parents who value education, mom, a primary school teacher, retired now, would bring storybooks from her school, and then would keep reading.
So mom was also a teacher.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So she could keep she would give us the books and then we read. Now, here comes the addiction of reading. Now, as we, it's not like these days where kids after lunch, it's Facebook, TV.
And reading these days is a problem. We don't want to read.
Exactly. People can't read anymore.
Yeah.
People are not reading. It's either WhatsApp or YouTube.
Yeah.
Or now reading has been washed down the drains. Now, back then we would keep reading, pick a book, read. It was Dad emphasized that. And even when he'd bring a newspaper, he places it on the table. Should he come back and you have not read a line, he beats you up. So he promoted a lot of reading, and I must say that the habit of reading has helped promote comprehension, analytical skills, creativity, but that has been developed subconsciously. That was not his aim, I'm sure, but subconsciously it had to develop. Yes. Okay. So I had an interesting, very colorful childhood. Especially when I related to reading, I was an addict to reading. Wow. And at some point, I was warned at school. I was given a warning letter because I missed lunch. I have a novel and I'm dying to
finish the novel.
I want to understand what is next. What happened to this character? And so I don't go do meals because I feel like I'm wasting time. Yeah. And then I packed a torch, a small torch, inside a needle tin when I was reporting to school. I was in a whole girls' school. Yes. So I packed a small torch. It was illegal. So I opened the needle tin and then pushed it in. The torch in. Yes. So that when they're checking, they know, oh, well, this is milk. Why does she need the torch? It was not for anything else. I wanted when the lights are off. Then as I'm in bed, when I get to bed, I can continue reading. You continue reading. When I was cold, you don't know the slaps, Madreen. I was.
But how did they even find out when it was in milk?
Yeah, no. Well,
the tin was empty?
No, the milk. Now, remember, this is made of powder. Yeah. So you push in the torch and then kind of seal it. Now, the matrons checking, no, it's milk. So they'll not check. They'll not open it, of course. Now, how did they get to know? I'm in dorm, and so I think the night patrols, the check-ins, what the matrons do, monitoring, and so she spots me with a torch.
You're with your torch, reading
a novel, covered and reading it. Yes, so it wasn't nice. I may not talk about this on TV, but the experience, my dear, was not easy. Okay. Yes, it was not easy. Yes, so that's my childhood. But slowly, that passion for reading, that the love for books, and the love for words in general, slowly designed my destiny to what I am now. Okay. Yes, and then I remember while I was now getting into A level in a whole girls school again. Now, my teacher kicked me out of the literature class. Why did she kick me out? I failed to afford a novel. My parents could not get me that novel. Yes, remember you're many kids all going to school, and then this other your school institution is requiring that if you're to take literature, you must have A, B, C, D. Now, the school was sick and tired of buying books because they were getting lost, and now they're like, if you're to do literature, come with your own books, and these are the books that you should carry. Now, I failed to get those books. What does the literature teacher say? You cannot handle literature if you cannot buy these books. I was kicked out of class because I could not afford the book. Yet I had the passion. That was a blow. It didn't end there. That was now where senior 4, senior 3, while you're making the choices. Now when I moved to senior 4, to senior, I failed to do literature O level. But when I got to A level, I had scored highly in English. Highly. Now and then, of course.
You had to pick it up.
Yes. And I did well. Fantastic.
Wow.
Yes, it was amazing. Now you can see that even teachers can kind of block your journey.
Yeah.
Yes, they may block it or open it up for you. Yes, so imagine, I don't know if that was blocking or opening after the other literature teacher denied me the chance to do literature.
It can be opening because you had the inspiration.
Yes, perhaps. Yes. And then again in school, while in school, I experienced bullying as a girl, as a young girl. And that's why surely I'm a very strong advocate for girl-child education and also rights for children. Now, my challenge was as a teenager growing, so I had a very big bust. So a very big breast. And so we went to shower in the bathroom. And it was, we would call them baths, open bathrooms. It's a bath. So you get in there and everyone's showering. And then one student, I'll never forget her. I was in senior 1. One student runs to the dormitory to call the rest to come and see a Muyuka with very big breasts. Madreen, my confidence.
Imagine your fellow girls.
Your fellow girls running and making fun of the kind of breasts you have. You know, my confidence died. I could not dress anywhere. I feared to shower. Because they kept making fun of this. Please, to parents, to teachers out there who are watching this show, clearly that affected my performance as a student, and also to students who get to do these things. Style up. You're killing the confidence of young girls. You're even killing the future, because when the confidence dwindles, and then at some point you sit, you relax and say, well, I cannot be in the limelight. Yes.
But you know, even up to now, we have women, you know, bullying each other. Shaming each other.
They are there, surely. Women should style up, and also parents. You see, when parents are sending kids to school, it's always about read, work hard, perform. You must be a doctor. But where are the ethics? How about saying, okay, read, treat others well, do not bully. You know, emphasize that, because at the end of the day, this child may destroy the rest of our colleagues, and then may also destroy themselves, because you cannot rise when you're trying to step on others. Yes. So dear parents, please don't just push kids into go read, perform. I need these grades. It should be D1s only. You know, for me, I passed with the food D1s, even if
they're lying.
and the manners are rotten. So these kids bullied me, and I hated myself. I started to love myself recently. Yes. And that is why, as a teacher, I'm very critical when a student laughs at the other in class. I'm very critical. And if I notice that a student is low in class, I'll dig to find out. I'll call her one-on-one, because I'm working with only girls. Yes, I'm working with girls. It's an organization, but yes, sponsoring girls. Yes, so if I'm in that capacity of helping this little girl whom they're laughing at to rise, which I have done, then I do it with my whole heart, because I was a victim of that kind of bullying way back when I was in high school. Yes, so parents, please this is serious. So kids could be suffering, and
Yeah,
also
true.
mental health is a serious issue
Very
these days.
serious these days in schools
In
also.
schools.
Yeah.
Yes, we've had. I had one time a student who was contemplating suicide
In school.
in school. Why? She was body shamed. You are too fat. You know, and I wonder why it's always about the girl. And fellow women doing it. I wonder why it's always about the girl.
Absurd.
It is very absurd. So we are here to try to bring some kind of sensitization, share our story. It will touch a life. One or two people will take a message, and Madreen, there, you've done a good job. Yes. If it's 100 people and one or two, you have changed a life. Yes.
And we are dedicating this particular show to all the women, to all the people, be it, also there are male that are doing this. You're doing something to lift the girl child up. Yes, we celebrate you, and we really thank you for whatever you're doing. Girls must be leaders and must be able to thrive whatever the circumstances are. Yes. So Catherine, when do you go to Rwanda? You wrote books for the Rwanda primary school teachers. When do you take that path? When do you go there?
Yes, how I went to Rwanda. Now, in 2010, an advert ran on New Vision. I was working as a teacher again here in Wakiso. There's a girls' school, Mount of Olives College Girls. Yes, so I was working there. And then in the staff room, we always had deliveries of newspapers. And a math teacher says, Kathy, this suits you. Come and read. So I read, and in that in the newspaper, it was the Ministry of Education of Rwanda was calling for applications for teachers to mentor their teachers who were transitioning from French to English. Yes. So I being a young graduate, I was excited, very much delighted to read this. I said, let me give it a try. So I applied, and then I got details. There was a contact number there. And then, so they were like, oh, well, if you're interested, now you'll be working directly with the Embassy of Rwanda here. Okay. And that is how I got there. And surely it was on merit. It was on merit. I applied. We had an interview. It was a partnership between the government of Rwanda and the British Council. Yeah, so English, from French to English. So I went through that journey. When we got there, it was challenging because, language barrier. I know. These guys are from French and now trying to English.
Please tell us the experience, because I'm sure you had to get some words in French.
It was not easy. Now, the rule was from our training that don't even try to interpret, because that way they will not learn. Now we had to. It was a gamble, especially because here is French, and they had just a little bit of English, but then they kept motivating us. They themselves, the teachers, saying, we shall learn this. Do you know, learning, moving from French to English is much easier than English to French.
English to French.
Yes. So that's what they were telling us. And surely I witnessed that. They learned. The teachers started mastering. We had workshops. We worked with Save the Children for early childhood. Yes, because Save the Children was specifically looking at literacy for lower primary. Can they read? Can they write? Yes. And then also specifically focusing on girls. Yes, it's very critical when it comes to a girl child. My dear, if a girl can't read, can't write, can't communicate, the world is shut. There's nothing. I have seen, I will not mention the region, but here in Uganda, where I think a group of women absconded a vaccination activity. It was an exercise, Ministry of Health. And what were they saying? That they cannot have their kids vaccinated against polio. Is it if the kids who are lame, it's witchcraft, Look at that kind of mindset. But a woman who has gone to school knows the child needs to get all the vaccines. Those very key vaccines for children. So it's important, even if she's not gone very far, she can comprehend if she gets explanation. You see.
So are you still working in Rwanda?
Yes, I'm working in Rwanda, but I also have
at the same time you're working
some
here?
few projects that I'm running here.
Okay.
Yes. So also the passion for girls, for sure. I imagine if just imagine, we've had parents in the village, and if these parents were educated, we much okay. I will agree that there are those that have the mothers specifically who have not been to school, but strive so hard to now imagine to take the kids. Now imagine if they were not given chance or opportunity to do that. If they were given opportunity to get to school themselves, it would have been way better. But because back then, education was not so much valued for the young, for the girls.
Especially the girl child.
For the girl child. So it's important to our audience, please let's endeavor to educate the girls. They're there to make a difference. Once they're educated, decisions are perfect. The socio-economic status of a country goes up because of women. You can even see in savings associations, women saving.
Women are many.
There are many and doing a great job. Just giving them the opportunity to make the rights, to decide on themselves, to take charge. It changes a lot. It changes a lot. Not just in Ghana, globally.
Yeah, true.
Globally.
Yeah. And so you're going to tell us more about the advocacy you're doing for the girl child and the young women.
Yes, as a teacher and also someone working with the Rwanda Girls Initiative, an organization that is pushing so hard for girls to rise in science. So for it, it's working with the girls, but promoting science among women, because this is something they're saying that, oh well, girls can't do science.
I know.
It's about boys. You see, so while I remember we were visiting a gynecologist here recently with a sister, and then a female doctor passed, and I told my sister, I admire this woman. I love looking at female doctors. And now imagine that statement. Now recently she told me, Kathy, since you started telling me that you admire female doctors, don't I love to look at them? Look at that. It's a statement, but someone is already changing.
Yeah.
It's already changing, thinking, oh, well, I can also try to be a scientist. Till to date by the Madreen, it's just here in Kampala that we are thinking, women have rights, women can do whatever they feel like. Leave Kampala. Just across the bridge, if you're heading to the east, after the Ginger Bridge, the story changes. The women are suppressed. There is no education for girls. These are things that are not being covered. But we've been deep in the villages and noticing that the girls are home. You find 14. I was surprised recently on my way from Moroto. We had gone for a project, developing a conflict resolution project recently in Moroto. Now, on our way back, we meet a group of about 12 young girls. 12 young girls on our way as you're getting into Katakwi, moving to Soroti. 12 young girls between the ages of 10 and 16, expecting, heavily pregnant. Now, it seems they had gone for, yes, very sad. They had gone for antenatal in a group. So on their way back, I'm like, what? So this is real. But in Kampala, very, very, it's very rare. A few. Now, we are making so much noise in the city. But in the outskirts, in the villages, the girl child is still suppressed, very much suppressed. They're not getting to school. They are forced into marriages. I know a very young girl that we are helping who they're planning to marry off, you know. How old is she? 13.
13 years.
13 years. Clueless of even how marriage looks like. Very clueless. How is that girl going to decide?
Terrible.
And marrying which man? Way older. A 35-year-old and you're 16 years. But these are things that are silently happening in communities. And politicians, please, we are here, you're there, making, tabling bills, making laws, signing laws. Please protect the girl in the village. It's not yet there. They're not yet getting enough protection.
Yeah. So, Catherine, and you're doing advocacy. What are you doing? What are you trying to do to see that the girl in the remote areas is also brought on board?
So I have some sensitization programs that I make in the villages, and also planning to register a CBO, a community-based organization that will be helping the girls, you know, sensitizing them and also skilling them, just basic skills, so that they can manage the rough world as women, because you may not depend on maybe your husband as the source of income. You should have a basic skill as a woman. And also generally the CBO's aim will be sensitization. So what shall we be doing? We'll be getting into schools. There's a program lined up, getting into schools and having a schedule on which group do we meet, whom do we talk to. As I said earlier on, that you may not have an impact on all of them.
Yeah.
But you will change a life. And after you've changed that will also change another.
Someone else's
yes,
life.
And so the cycle is continuous. Yes, so that's a CBO that is on ground. It's paperwork. It's in progress. And we're getting lots of hope that soon it will be to
And do you have a team you're working with, or you're doing this as an individual?
There is a team. So there's a team of peer mentors. There'll be peer mentors. So just a few girls who have had an experience of abuse, who have dropped out of school. So those ones will be peer mentors. And of course, there'll be the other group, the adults who will be doing the much technical work. Yes, so it's a team of about 25 people. Yes.
And then you as a teacher, what are you doing to see that there's a lot of bullying? You talked of bullying in schools, mental health challenges, basically for the girl child. What are you doing? What have you done to see that such vices in schools are really reducing?
Yes, thank you, Madreen, for bringing that up. Exactly. Now, in schools, first, in meetings, and the bullying case is up. Even if no one has reported and have noticed it, then I forward it. But before I forward it, I deal with the case one-on-one. Now, the victim and the perpetrator. Yes, but usually the victim comes first before the perpetrator. Now, it's after the victim of obviously comes, then we trace who started this. And now I follow up the case. I follow it up. Who did this? What triggered it? Did you influence this to happen? Because at some point maybe mentioned something or an insult to the other person, and then there was a retaliation. And so this one said, oh, well, you're even very fat, or you are this, or you can't make it, you're from a poor family, you know. Yes, so we kind of do guidance and counseling, and that is why, again, for policymakers, I guess it's time for Ministry of Education and Sports to have counselors, school-based counselors, stationed in school to assist with these kinds of cases, because teachers are already grappling with syllabus coverage, and now with this new competence-based curriculum, which teachers are still struggling to master. Now you have the case of oh, there's this out of class issue of bullying, deal with that too. And teachers, to be honest, are beginning to withdraw from that. Like, okay, let me teach and walk away.
Yeah.
Yes, because there's so much pressure
There's
in
so
schools.
much.
There's so much pressure. Well, mentor the children, train them to be better. On the other side, the academics office saying, please submit this, do this, do this, do this.
So
You know,
there's a
there's a
lot
lot
to
for
do.
teachers. So the ministries or even private schools, surely if you have to groom a whole child, then we need some sort of school-based counselors.
Yeah, the way we have career guidance sessions, I think these sessions are also important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I will agree that there are senior ladies here in Uganda. There's a senior lady, there's a senior man.
But do we still have senior ladies? When I was in school, right from primary, we had those stations. We would go, the senior lady calls, all girls this age to this age, come. They will take you through what is going to happen. Yeah. Do we still have that in schools today?
Yes, it is there, but not as rigorous as it was before during our time.
Yeah.
This time, the senior lady is given more administrative work, more of admin. Now, she's teaching, she's given admin roles. Then there's of course oversight role in school that happens, and then she has to deal with the girls.
Yeah.
That's overwhelming. You have to report to the academics office because you're a teacher. You will also have a class, and then you have admin duties to do, and then again back to the girls. So you find that they are overwhelmed. It's no longer. It's not there. Just because I've even worked in Uganda, I've been here.
Yeah.
Not like it used to be.
Yeah.
And yet the mental health
Mental health issue.
it is serious. Imagine a girl, Madreen, committing suicide
I
because a boyfriend,
Yeah, imagine you're a parent and your daughter is gone because of...
Yes, because of that. Now, it's a mental thing. A senior lady is supposed to focus on emotional intelligence. That is actually a very serious topic that should be handled in school for girls. Emotional intelligence. The boys will kind of suppress it. I will not deny the fact that even the boys need a lot of help.
True.
Yes, I'll not deny that. But we look at the girl as extremely critical in this case. Now, because her emotional intelligence has not developed fully. It has not been grown in school. They will not make decisions. Or the decisions they'll make will be like abstract from nowhere, So because my boyfriend has walked away or someone has put me down, shut me during a discussion in class, I'm better off dead. So yes, so emotional intelligence is very key. Very, very key in schools. Let me tell you, Madreen, they'll even fail an exam and the student is completely down, completely shattered because has failed an exam. That is emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence will remind them that, oh, well, there's another chance. This is not the end of it. You will still score. Why not do A, B, C, D to get the grade that you are dreaming about? So that is very key. Emotional intelligence is lacking. The senior ladies in schools are too busy. And so the girl is left to gamble.
Yeah, going back to the drawing board, where do we start before we even go to the schools? Where should they start from? Are the parents really involved in this? Because you leave home and then you go to school, you start doing whatever you're doing. So where does this start from?
So for the parents, it is important that you look at a girl child. There's that common motto that you educate a girl, then you've educated a nation. How does this work? Now, I have, from my experience of working with girls, there is a parent who decided to sell off chunks of land to have their child move to Germany after she got a partial scholarship. Now, the university was paying 70%. Now, the parent had to clear the 30%. But this is a family in the village, yes, struggling. Now, they decided to sell off the land and sent this girl to Germany. Why? They saw a future. This is the firstborn daughter of the 6 kids. But let me tell you, Madreen, their life has changed. This girl went there, studied, and then looked at the siblings and the background and connected that, my parents have sold this. I have to lift this family up. Now, she gets a job in Germany. She was a student at the time working. Yes, so as she's working, she's educating these other ones. Surprisingly, it's a family of girls only. So she's lifting the other. And even the land that was sold, somehow she started to get it back to the parents. It was appreciative. So you see, the parents should sacrifice to educate the girl. She has a big impact on society.
And then the community at large, when you're growing up, you're not only brought up by your parents, your relatives, but the people around.
Yes, even the community. Now, Madreen, there is this thing about this women, the Queen Bee syndrome among women. This is something I'm so much dying for viewers to take today. The Queen Bee syndrome, it's among women, especially the bosses, women bosses, who are who suppress women working in a male-dominated environment. Now, because you are the woman boss, most of them, the staff is men. And then there are few women. There is this mentality of women bosses, not all of them, but some of them, trying to suppress the women they are leading.
True.
Yes, trying to suppress them. And then it's the other way around too. The women they are leading are trying to pull the other woman up, to make her feel like, oh, well, you are doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, you're shattering it. It doesn't work that way. Lift the other woman. She will lift you up. She will lift your children. She will lift you. And then there are women in community too, who are against the other ladies educating their children. If you say, oh, Madreen's daughter is in Namagunga, she's now in a medical school here in Makerere. Like, oh, why is she even there? Why she will not succeed? No. Pray so hard that she succeeds. Why? Tomorrow that child will treat you. Tomorrow that same child will fight as a lawyer for you somewhere. You may not know. You may not even know this child, but support the other woman because their children may fight for you as a lawyer. They may be lawmakers in parliament and pass bills that will benefit you. For if it's land grabbing, you're deep in the village. That child you were not supporting. Why are you going to school? Education doesn't pay off. It's a long-term investment. Don't bother. No, this child Tamti will sign a bill in parliament for you to protect your land subconsciously. So these are things, please, it's about unity, supporting one another, supporting and growing together.
Yeah. And Catherine, we've just made 61 years of independence. So let me take you there as a woman. So far, the progress that we have made, we have seen women. Our vice president is a woman, the speaker of parliament, we have the prime minister. So kindly assess for us the progress. Yes, up to now. Are we progressing as women, taking up these spaces? How has it been?
Well, first of all, I'm grateful to the government because we've seen women thriving in leadership positions, in different sectors as commissioners, and also as politicians. Yes, the women have been given that role. And clearly, I feel like, yes, we are growing as a country to empower women, but not yet there as such. Yes, I feel like we're not yet exactly to where we should be, because this women movement...
What is lacking?
Yes, okay, before I get to that. So this women movement has been emancipation, feminism, the movements. These things have been running way back. Yes. And at some point I feel like we're now stagnant. We are going with the well, let's keep the women representatives of parliament. If per districts, let's keep that position.
I think we are contented.
Yes. We feel like we are contented. And when it comes to constituency leadership for women, it's the men who are dominating there, and we should be getting to the drawing board. But why are women getting comfortable now that, well, we have our leadership, our obvious women representative per district, so we are good with that. Let's settle. Then I'm thinking why this is happening is that we as women still feel like the male dominance is a threat. So for you, you do not want to tamper with the other side. Let's get comfortable. In other words, you're getting comfortable with what we have, the little that we've been provided by the governments and organizations. We are getting comfortable with that. But I still feel like we have the potential. If it's a constituency, can we also fight to lead that constituency as a woman, and not specifically stand for women?
I know.
Leadership.
And then, it also makes me think that we have women in these spaces, but are they influential in these positions? Are they doing enough to see that our girls are also lifted up? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like, yes, they are doing that, but there's still a lot of suppression. I still feel like there's a lot of suppression. Women are still suppressed because, as a woman, my dear, I can tell you that there are meetings. You have a meeting and you have an idea to put across, and there are people who laugh at that. But later on, it will be implemented. But as you're putting across that decision, maybe about how to run a specific department, first, they'll not see sense in it. I don't know if it is a case of it's a woman who has spoken it. I do not know. Because later on, it's implemented and it works. Yes, so there is that doubt. Men are still doubting. They're still doubting that we still have the other kind of, the stereotype. It's still there.
True.
And that's why we are struggling to get into the space. The stereotype is still there. It's evident. Yes. Now, I'll not mention the region, but deep in the village there, I'm told I witnessed that a man, they get to the garden in the morning to cultivate. But I don't know if it's a cultural practice or it is still the gender stereotype that we are dragging from the traditional society and dragging it to this modern era. I do not. That needs to be investigated. Now, these people, sadly, the woman gets to the garden in the morning. Who escorts her? The husband. But that the husband gets to watch her digging, cultivating. If it's harvesting, she will cultivate. Now, this is for home consumption. But the husband acts like a guard, something like a guard, providing security for the woman. Then, as she's cultivating, he's observing and lies, creates some sort of bed, comfortable bed with grass, and watches her cultivate. Now we have issues of culture, gender stereotype, still suppressing, and it is difficult to confront culture practice. And that's why women are still struggling. It's so difficult to penetrate into a culture.
Also the religious bit of it. Stay in this marriage. We have a lot of cases, domestic violence
Yes.
against women.
Very sad.
Yeah.
So many cases of domestic violence. This culture, if I'm beaten, keep it up. I'm in a marriage.
Sign of love.
Sign of love. Sign of love. Now that is keeping us backward, even if the efforts by the government, efforts by organizations, efforts by CBOs, civil society organizations.
So what are we going to do about this?
We still get back to sensitization. Sensitization, empowerment. For Uganda, it's always good on paper. It's so good on paper. Madreen, even what you're doing about is already on paper.
Yeah.
But how do we implement this?
Implementation is the problem.
How do you implement this? Because I was reading online some time back that this affirmative action, the other point for the girls, they want to scrap it off. They want to scrap it off. Why? Because
many girls have got it.
They are not seeing the progress of that point, so they want to scrap it off, and that's the point that girls have been enjoying.
And actually, I'm a product of that.
Oh,
yeah, nice. I got government scholarship because of that. Yeah, district quarter.
Wow.
Yeah,
nice. Good to know. Good to know you're a product of that.
Yeah.
So you see, girl child education, very, very important. Very important. But still work in progress for sure.
Work in progress.
Work in progress. And then we are getting very comfortable with a little, so leadership, fine women, like, I think if I only have one term in parliament, then I'm good. That's what they'll say. Then I'm good with that. Yeah. So you're like, okay, I tried, which is good for sure. Yeah, it's good to keep trying. If we perform well and you're brought back, still good. Cheers to that. Yeah. Cheers to that. Still work in progress. But at time T, we're likely to get there. We shall get there. Yeah. But I feel like the government has tried so hard. It's even when they're reading how many girls succeeded in this national exam. UNEP, the secretary is reading how many girls sat for this, how many succeeded, the number of girls. You find the percentage as a reason of how many girls sat for an exam. It's exciting to hear such news. Yes.
Yeah, true.
It's exciting. Yeah. Yes. But culture,
Culture. Dealing with culture is still a big problem.
It's still a very big problem.
Yeah.
Convincing a parent that to invest in education, which is long-term, they consider it long-term investment. And then...
But Catherine, we have UPE. Yeah. We have UPE everywhere. So, and when COVID-19 came, a lot of girls got pregnant and then going back to school. And UNEB started on Monday, senior fours. And I was watching news, there was a school that had refused a certain student to go in for exams because she was found pregnant.
Yeah, I wouldn't support that school for sure. Yes, because there are a number of consequences that led to the pregnancy. There is something behind the pregnancy. It might be she wanted a packet of sanitary, and then this chapati, this local boy in the village will be like, oh, how much is it? It's 3.5. Okay, can we talk? For you to get that, can we talk? Now, it brings us back to the role of the school. The other ladies we talked about, the senior lady. Now, if it's premarital, you know the consequences of premarital sex. You know the consequences of diverting from the ABC strategy of that Uganda designed. Condomize. You have this. Avoid temptation. Avoid this as a school-going child. We always guide them on that. But because they are even not being given that time, quality time, so she'll be like, okay, for me to get this, I must have to sacrifice. And that's entirely her life. Because she gets with this man and her future is completely gone. She's pregnant.
And then what do you say about introducing the birth control methods in schools for the girls?
Wow. Birth control method, very debatable. Very much debatable. Because number one, it's going to promote promiscuity. It's going to promote it. Obviously, the child will be like, I'm safe. Let me go. And how about if you're talking about the pill, does it have the capacity, the capability to fight the STD and the HIV? Obviously, no. You see, so they will get comfortable again with the pill, and then in the long run, we are again pressed with the virus and other yes, STIs. Therefore, again, we shall have to put pressure on the government. That will come pressure to hospitals, to health centers, to, treating this. It becomes a pressure, and that affects an entire growth of a nation again. So you see, now that's a tough one. Tough one. Should we have the pill or not? Very much debatable. And I beg to surely not comment on that on camera.
Maybe we shall. And so to the young woman in society, yes, to the girl child, what do you want to say to the girl child?
To the girl child, education is key. Stick to it. It will pay off at 10T. You will run your family successfully. You will contribute to the socio-economic growth of this country. And you personally grow as an individual. And that's very important. And when that happens, the lineage kind of follows the same. If she has done this, she's educated, rest assured that her kids will get an education. And therefore, this reducing the illiteracy levels in the country, which is key, and also contributing to the growth of growth of the country in general. Yes, it's very key that the girls should stick to education. Forget about minor issues, relationship issues, those bullying you, bringing you down. Oh, you can't do this. Those body shaming you. You're growing so fast. That's in Sina too. Why are you growing so fast? Yes. Why are you growing? What are you chasing? Is there a trophy for you to grow? Are they giving trophies because you're growing so fast? Please don't mind them. Don't mind them. Focus. There are so many other factors like community. When you get home, before you do the homework, can you take care of the children, feed them, wash their clothes before you do this? Yes, do it. I'm not saying you stop doing it. Clean up if you're told to clean up. Wash up the uniforms. Do that quickly. And then you're back to having your homework. Yes. In other words, procrastination. Children, young girls should avoid procrastinating. If you decide that the homework shall be done at this time, I have to attend to mom's kitchen assignment. Do it. And then you slowly progress to handling your classwork. And as a girl, you can make it. You can make it. There's so many women you up there who are causing a change, a difference in community. Look at us here.
We
are
have
women.
Catherine. And she's advocating for you.
Yes, we are women. Yes, and if it wasn't for what we did and what we had to fight for, determination, unstoppable determination, it shouldn't be stopped. Unwavering support from community, acknowledge that support. Don't think that they are pushing you so hard. No, they are supporting you. They are seeing a future in you. So acknowledge that and appreciate. How do you appreciate that? By sticking to school, making better decisions, listen, develop critical thinking. And also, this is a tip to young girls. There are forces that are that the world is focusing at. There's communication. Can you communicate? There's collaboration. Yes. Can you work as a team? Already there's a crew here, team. Yes, that's already a sign of collaboration. and also critical thinking. And then the last one is creativity.
Wow.
Those are 4 C's. Very, very critical in the growth of a young girl. Can you speak? So when it comes to communication, pass on your information with confidence. Someone is approaching you for a relationship. We are girls, and someone approaches you, and then can you communicate and say, oh no, well, I'm not just ready. I'm not just ready.
But they say our no is always a yes.
Well,
so how firm should the no be?
The no should be a no. Look into his eyes. It's a no. It's a no, please. Please, it's a no. I still have a journey. Or well, can you give me some time? So you buy time until he gives up. Buy time. But focus. Communicate. If it's a debate, especially in class, we encourage the girls to speak up.
Yeah.
What is your side of a topic about feminism? That's another topic that is causing a lot of dust. But for feminism, we have extremists. And for sure, I'm an advocate of girl child education, but not so feminist. There are feminists who are too severe. Too severe. Where a man gets into the house and he's saying, oh, honey, can I have a glass of water? Don't you have hands? Don't you have hands? Those kinds of
we
things.
are both from work. So can't you get the water yourself?
Yes. You're both from work. Can't you get the
Yeah.
water yourself? And then the one which made me really, really wonder about feminists is this man, I think, wanted another child. So this lady, she has only one son. And then she tells the guy that, oh, carry that one. Get pregnant if you can. Please get pregnant if you can. So we are getting extremists, okay? So, but everything, if done in an extreme, then it becomes a problem. Yeah, so extremism is bad.
Yeah. So, Catherine, what has kept you moving? What has kept you reach where you are? Some of your work ethics, things that you really consider that this has made me what I am. Yeah.
So, number one, things that have made me reach to where I am, and specifically the work ethics, it is, one is work because you have to achieve, not because someone is watching you. Yes. Now, we have cases where someone is working to be seen. But you do not have a goal, you do not have an objective. If you have, and it shouldn't always be personal, that, well, I must make money. But you can change a life, and you have still worked, and you have achieved if you change your life. It's not always about monetary gains. Yes, I could sit down, Madreen, and tell a girl that, you know what, if you do not manage your time with submitting assignments, it is going to affect your performance entirely. You sleep off or miss a morning prep, that time you're supposed to be prepping, you're sleeping. Now, you are going to fail to submit an assignment online on time. That will affect your next schedule and will lower your performance along the way. Yeah, so it's important that you work not to be seen, but to achieve and progress. Yes, because usually at work, the mentality is, oh, if the boss is not here, then let me sit. When the boss comes, then you're running up and down, you're back and forth. You are lying to yourself. Work to achieve, work to change an organization, work to grow. Yes, to grow could be mentally, also financially, because ultimately you will have to. But before you get to the financial growth, you must have to work. So it pays off in some way. It could pay through a promotion, it could pay, but you worked hard to get there. Yes, and also I think at work there should be people should learn to manage their space. Yeah, that has made me what I am.
Okay.
Yes, manage your space. Yes, so how do you, if you are heading a specific department, maybe it's extracurricular or it's a language department, why would you want to interfere in another department when you're failing to run your own? You see, so try to manage yours, and maybe you could sell an idea to the other department and say, "Oh, this is what we did to get there." But before yours stands up, you can't jump on to fix a problem when you haven't picked a speck from your eye. Then you're running to pick from someone. You know, do it fast, grow fast, and then you could share what led you to grow with the rest of the team.
Wow, that is beautiful, Catherine. And as we get to the conclusion of our conversation, yes, the young women, you spoke to the girls in school, but then the young women, we have a lot of graduates out there, unemployed women, women who are just, single mothers. What a word to them? What's a word of encouragement to the young women?
So to the young women, I know you're at university, I've been there, we've been there. It's very tough. Sometimes you wake up and you don't even have money, finances to print. There's a handout waiting. The lecturer, the professor has left out a handout. You cannot afford it. It gets very tough. What we used to do when we are in such circumstances is we could share a handout. So if it's 3,000, then
you bring 1,500, I bring 1,500. Okay.
And then we alternate. So you read this time, and instead of getting on the 3,000. Now, because young women are finding that takes us back to collaboration. Yes. Now, because young women are finding that very difficult and inconveniencing, they decide to use the other way around, get into scamming. You're being used for dubious, activities because you want to get comfortable, overly comfortable, but you're destroying yourself. You're destroying yourself. And at the end of it all, you have created a bad repetition because you're involved in a dubious activity. You were in a ring that is causing commotion, leading strikes, and so it affects your performance at the end of the day, and consequently, you are the loser. And Madreen, I wish women could think that if I lose, I am losing. I'll lose alone. Remember, the world celebrates you when you succeed, but when you lose, you are alone. You are alone. If you are expelled from college,
you go alone.
You go alone. You make calls. You make calls and people will not want to know. But celebrating, everyone wants to be part of the cake cutting. Yes, so ladies, please know your limits. Now, this is what I can afford. This is what I cannot. If I can read further or do more research to get a higher score, they would call us bookworms. A bookworm. Oh, you're always reading. You are. You know what brought you in the school. So read. Go to the library. Let them laugh. Young women, especially college students who are always online. I'm sure you're going to watch this show. Read hard. Read hard. If it means research, avoid shortcuts. They're very dangerous. Shortcuts are dangerous. They've killed many people. People have lost jobs, lost documents because of shortcuts. So the shortcuts are there. I guess you know some of them, or you've even been a victim of a shortcut. They are bad. Stick to the long way, the long journey. If it's you to do research, go do your research. Why would you want to copy paste? Do it.
And then finally, where do we see Catherine in 5-10 years to come?
Catherine in 5-10 years to come, an acknowledged advocate, because I want to get into activism much more seriously than ever before, because it's beginning to pay off. Yes, I'm having my girls in school. There are those I'm assisting, sponsorship. Yes, so I want to to even sponsor more.
Wow.
Have more girls in school in the next 5 years. Yes. And also, if we could do, with our CBO, we want to get into reproductive health. Yes, for girls.
Sure.
Yes, menstrual health, all that kind of stuff for girl, and ultimately whole girl education. Yes. So if we get to that, I'm sure we'll touch a number of lives in the next years to come. Yes.
Amen.
It's about amen.
And our prayers to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we shall be here, and then we shall get to host you again when you have really made it.
Thank you so much. Now I will start documenting everything. Yes.
Yeah, it has been an exciting show. Thank you so much, Catherine, for coming through. Yes, thank you so much to everyone that has really made an effort to see that girls are in school, girls are really doing something, and you're trying to see that these young girls are becoming someone better in society. Thank you to our program. Thank you to our production team, people behind the camera. Thank you so much. And to you, our viewers, thank you for always watching Civic Space TV. Women Rise, Women at the Front Lines. I've been your host, Madreen. Till we meet again. See you. Bye.